This is the automatic battery machine. I designed it. It's kind of complicated, and I'm going to try my best to show you how to get it done. The best thing you can do is start with some pre-assembly. That's going to be like these little racks here. You want to grab your 20mm dowels, shove them into place, probably put a little glue in there. Those are never going to come out. They'll never be a problem. It should fit pretty snugly. You'll need 2 of those. You grab a 12mm dowel and go ahead and jam it into this little gear box plate. If you wanted to go with the lever using the optional 30mm dowel, you'll need to have that like glued together first with the little tip. That just helps disperse the pressure when you're pressing down the lever. You can go ahead and set those parts aside. The other thing you'll want to do is probably get the back plate assembly just kind of generally done. I'm going to show you just a few of the steps that you'll want to take. I'm not going to glue the faceplate in place, but you'll grab your plate here. This is the top. This is the back. That's where we're going to start. This is the carriage back strap, which fits in only one orientation, and that's going to be with this big missing part towards the right side if you're facing the plate, and that just allows for the carriage to slide on the carriage gear, and you'll snap that guy into place. Maybe bend it and press, bend and press. It is really snug, but you will hear it click. And that's a quick print, so don't be afraid to break it if it does snap. You have another strap here. This will go in either direction, but it's important you put it in the right direction because it links onto the battery hopper here. Kind of sits like this. So there's a little notch in there. Just make sure that's facing up. Now you can grab your battery carriage, and this guy, you just slide up here. That's a really snug fit. It really shouldn't be that snug, but this part should be able to slide freely. I'm not sure why that's so tight, actually. It might have to do with the way that I printed this version. I did a filament change, which just allowed me to get the prints done so I can show you how to put this together. But you'll put the carriage in place and then grab the door. Put this door through the hole and then go ahead and glue it. Once that's done, this carriage is going to be easy to deal with. You don't have to worry about alignment as much. So now you're basically dealing with this, and this is how it should slide, nice and free. So we're going to go ahead and put the gears in. There's 2 transfer gears. These guys just pop in through these holes. Bloop. And bloop. These retention rings. And those just help hold these things in place. And then this guy here, there's actually a little notch right in the back, so you can kind of, it'll sit underneath the carriage strap when you push it in. Once you get them in, make sure they like rotate freely. There is one proper alignment for this piece here, and it's just like that. It's a little diamond shape. Diamond tips point up and down, left and right. And what those do is they align with this little notch here. So pull your carriage all the way down to the bottom and then line this up and snap it into place just like that. You'll probably glue that. You probably want to throw some glue on the back side of that. And that's pretty much the magic motion there. And then for now, we can go ahead and flip it over, grab a spring, throw it into this hole here, grab a pre-assembled rack, which they're symmetrical, doesn't matter which one you put where. And then here, and then here. And then those are gonna stay in place, they're not ever gonna give you trouble. But I do keep my thumb over them, so they definitely will stay in place. Throw this gear in here. Now alignment on that gear isn't super important because there's 15 teeth here, 15 teeth in here. Those are aligned. Grab your lever box. Oh man, I always forget to do this. Grab your 10mm dowels. Pop them in these holes. It might be really snug. It's okay. Push them in. Then you can go ahead and pop. Just like that. 12mm dowel right in the back here. And then I tape this in place because I'm constantly taking this thing apart and putting it back together. But you will want to glue that part eventually. Now this should be free falling. So my tape might be touching the gear here. This dowel will fall out. If it doesn't free fall, you might have your retention, these little retention things on too tight. It should be feeling really nice in there. There is an alternate handle, which is plastic. I included that. This metal one just looks a little nicer. 12mm dowel right in the middle there. Put this guy all the way up to the top. Make sure your carriage is all the way down to the bottom. Find your center gear and now when you put it in, you want to make sure that this stays all the way to the right and this stays all the way to the right, or at least that they're equal. I think theoretically this placement should work for you. There's just a tiny gap here and a tiny gap here, and that should give you all your travel. If you pull the lever down, just be careful because these parts will drop out. And this is not making enough travel. You can tell. If your carriage system is making enough travel, you're actually going to see the front of the carriage. Putting down this gear, if you're not getting it in there correctly, push this lever down just slightly and it will allow the center gear to drop. And then when you push this down, you'll start to see the printed part of the carriage. And that's how you know you have the right travel. You need the lid here. And that'll snap into place. At this point, you can grab a battery and just kind of test it out. Make sure that when you press the lever, you do get access. All right, almost done. Holes there, plate here. Pretty self-explanatory. Man, this part's always difficult. Just finding the right spot. There you go, you found it. Boom, lucky. Boom. And this guy here. You'll see it not aligning here at top with the way that this sits in there. So you do kind of have to like do a little force, wiggle, bend type of uncomfortable movements, but eventually it does kind of snap into place. And then that's the main function. The shell, this definitely needs glue. It's 1.2 millimeter walls, and you'll need to glue it in place, but there's a clear top and a clear bottom. The top has a thinner ridge. Slide this into place, probably glue it, pre-glue. Bam. And you'll need to apply glue along here and probably along the bottom, because it's unfortunately it doesn't snap into place as well as I'd like. In order to make that work, I think I need to make it thicker, or maybe change the printing plane, which I'm not prepared to do. And go ahead. There you go. You can do it all day. When you load it all the way up to the top, you'll find it functions just the same way. You can do it forever. Thanks for your time.